I found out my sister had stolen my wedding venue on a Tuesday afternoon, sitting in a coffee shop in downtown Boston, scrolling through Instagram while waiting for my fiancé to finish a work meeting. That's when I saw it, a post from Rosewood Estate, the historic mansion venue I'd booked 14 months ago for my October wedding. Excited to host the beautiful autumn wedding of Claire Martinez and James Chen. Only 60 days until this stunning celebration. The photo showed my sister Claire beaming in front of the very same venue where I was supposed to marry my fiancé Marcus in exactly 3 months. The same venue I'd toured with my mother 2 years ago. The same venue where I'd put down a $5,000 non-refundable deposit. The same venue that had sent me a confirmation email just last month. My hands went numb. The coffee cup slipped from my fingers, crashing onto the table and soaking my phone. Claire was getting married. At my venue. On what had to be a date dangerously close to mine. I grabbed napkins with shaking hands, wiping my phone frantically while opening my email. There, buried in my spam folder, marked as spam by some cruel algorithmic twist, was an email from Rosewood Estate dated 2 weeks ago. Dear Ms. Reyes, we regret to inform you that due to an internal scheduling error, your October 14th wedding reservation has been cancelled. Your deposit will be refunded within 30 business days. We sincerely apologize for this inconvenience and any disruption to your wedding plans. Internal scheduling error. My wedding was in 3 months, October 14th, Claire's post said 60 days, which meant. I did the math with growing horror. August 15th. 2 months before my wedding. Not a conflict. Not an overlap. She'd just taken my venue and moved up the timeline. My phone rang. Claire. As if she'd sensed me discovering her betrayal. Liv. Her voice was bright, cheerful, completely unbothered. Did you see my post? James and I are getting married at Rosewood. Isn't it amazing? That's my venue, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. What? No, it's mine. We just booked it. Claire, I booked Rosewood 14 months ago. For October 14th. I have emails. Contracts. I put down a $5,000 deposit. There was a pause. When she spoke again, her voice had changed, defensive, sharp. Well, I don't know anything about that. The venue coordinator said they had availability, so we booked it. You knew. You toured it with me and Mom 2 years ago. You said it was perfect for my wedding. Olivia, I can't help it if there was some mix-up. We're getting married in 2 months. Everything's already planned. You can find another venue. Find another venue? Claire, I'm getting married in 3 months. Every decent venue in Boston is booked a year in advance. Then push your wedding back. James and I can't wait any longer. I'm 29 and he's 32. We need to start trying for kids. Your wedding can happen later. I sat there, stunned into silence. My younger sister had stolen my wedding venue, was fully aware she'd done it, and was now telling me to just find somewhere else, with 3 months' notice, because her timeline was more important than mine. Did Mom know about this? I asked. Another pause. She helped us book it. The betrayal deepened, spreading through my chest like poison. Mom knew you were taking my venue? She thought it made sense. Since we're getting married first now, and you can always. I hung up. My phone immediately rang again. Mom this time. I answered. Olivia, Claire just called me crying. You need to calm down and be reasonable about this. Be reasonable? She stole my wedding venue. She didn't steal anything. There was a scheduling conflict, and since her wedding is first, it made sense for her to take the date. You have time to find somewhere else. She's getting married in August. My wedding is in October. There's no conflict. But once she booked Rosewood, there was. And Olivia, you need to understand, Claire and James have been trying to start a family. They can't wait. Your wedding can be postponed. You and Marcus aren't in a rush. We've been engaged for 18 months. We've been planning this for over a year. And you'll have a beautiful wedding. Just at a different location. Why are you being so selfish about this? It's just a venue. Just a venue. The place where I'd imagined exchanging vows with Marcus. The gardens where we'd planned to take photos. The ballroom where our families would celebrate. The venue I'd dreamed about since the first time I'd toured it. How did she even manage to book it? I asked. I had a contract. My mother's silence told me everything. You called them, didn't you? I said. You're on my vendor contact list as the mother of the bride. You called Rosewood and told them there was a problem. You canceled my booking. I explained the situation to them. That there was a family issue and we needed to make a change. They were very understanding. You committed fraud. You canceled a contract that wasn't yours to cancel, using information you had because I trusted you. Don't be dramatic, Olivia. I'm your mother. I did what was best for the family. Claire's situation is time-sensitive. Yours isn't. This is what family does, we make sacrifices for each other. This isn't a sacrifice. This is theft. If you're going to be hysterical about this, I don't know what to tell you. The decision is made. Claire's wedding is in 2 months at Rosewood. You need to find another venue and move on. She hung up. I sat in that coffee shop, my soaked phone in my hand, my coffee spilled across the table, and felt something fundamental shift inside me. This wasn't just about a venue. It was about every time Claire had been prioritized over me. Every time my needs had been dismissed as less important. Every time I'd been expected to be the understanding, accommodating older sister who gave up what she wanted so Claire could have what she wanted. Marcus found me 20 minutes later, still sitting at the table in shock. When I told him what happened, his face went through several emotions: confusion, anger, and finally cold determination. We're getting a lawyer, he said. Marcus, she's my sister. She's a thief. And your mother committed fraud. We have a contract. We have proof of payment. We're going to fight this. That evening, we met with an attorney named Robert Kim who specialized in contract disputes. He reviewed our documentation, the signed contract with Rosewood Estate, email confirmations, the deposit receipt, the timeline showing we'd booked 14 months in advance. This is pretty clear-cut, Robert said. You have a valid contract. They can't just cancel it because someone else wants the date. The question is, do you want to fight to keep the venue, or do you want to sue for damages? Marcus and I looked at each other. What are our options? I asked. Option 1, we send a cease and desist letter to Rosewood Estate and to your sister, informing them that canceling your contract was unlawful and demanding they reinstate your booking. If your sister's already sent deposits, that's her problem. She shouldn't have booked a venue that was already reserved. They'll hate me, I said quietly. My family. They already betrayed you, Marcus said. Why do you care what they think? He was right. But family dynamics aren't logical. Option 2, Robert continued, is to sue Rosewood Estate for breach of contract and fraudulent cancellation. You'd likely win damages including your deposit, the cost difference of booking a comparable venue at the last minute, which could be substantial, plus emotional distress. And you could potentially include your mother in the lawsuit for her role in the fraudulent cancellation. I thought about that. About my mother being sued. About the nuclear fallout that would cause. There's a third option, Robert said. Do nothing legally, but document everything and cut contact with everyone involved. Let your sister have the venue, but make it clear that the relationship is over. No attending her wedding, no family gatherings, no pretending this is okay. That night, Marcus and I talked until 2 a.m. about what to do. I don't want to sue my family, I admitted. I don't want to be the person who takes legal action against her own sister and mother. But you also don't want to just let them get away with this, Marcus said. No. I want them to understand what they did. I want them to feel the weight of their choice. Then let's do something strategic, Marcus said slowly. Something that makes them see exactly what they threw away when they decided Claire's wants were more important than their relationship with you. We talked through the night, building a plan that felt right, not vengeful, but firm. Not cruel, but clear about consequences. The next morning, I sent 3 messages. The first went to Claire: I won't be attending your wedding. After stealing my venue, you've made it clear that your wants matter more than our relationship. I hope Rosewood is everything you dreamed. But I won't be there to watch you celebrate something you took from me. The second went to my mother: you used information I trusted you with to cancel my wedding booking so Claire could have what I'd already reserved. That's not what mothers do. That's not what family does. I need space from you. Don't contact me. The third went to Robert Kim, my attorney: please proceed with the cease and desist letter to Rosewood Estate. I want them to know what they participated in, even if we don't ultimately fight for the venue. Then Marcus and I did something we'd been considering anyway: we decided to elope. We booked flights to Italy. Found a small villa in Tuscany that specialized in intimate weddings. Hired a photographer and a coordinator. Planned a ceremony for just the 2 of us in a vineyard at sunset. Our October 14th date? We kept it. But instead of fighting over Rosewood Estate in Boston, we'd be getting married in Italy, surrounded by beauty and joy, with 0 family drama. I didn't tell anyone. Not Claire, not my mother, not anyone in my family. They could all show up to Claire's stolen venue wedding in August and celebrate her betrayal. We'd be planning our own perfect day, far away from all of them. And when they eventually found out, when they saw the photos, when they realized what they'd missed, they'd understand exactly what their choices had cost them. The cease and desist letter from Robert Kim arrived at Rosewood Estate 3 days after I sent the authorization. I knew because the venue coordinator called me personally, his voice tight with professional panic. Ms. Reyes, I received correspondence from your attorney. I want to assure you there was a terrible misunderstanding. Your mother called representing herself as you, said there was a family emergency and you needed to cancel. We had no reason to doubt. She committed fraud, I said calmly. She used information from my vendor contact list to impersonate me and cancel a legal contract so my sister could book the same venue. We had no way of knowing. You have email addresses. You could have sent confirmation to me directly. You could have required written authorization. Instead, you took a phone call from someone claiming to be me and canceled a year-old booking without verification. Ms. Reyes, please. We'd like to make this right. We can cancel your sister's booking and reinstate yours. We can offer you upgraded services at no charge. It's too late, I said. I've made other arrangements. But I wanted you to understand what you participated in so you'll implement better verification procedures in the future. What about the legal action? There won't be any. I'm not interested in suing. I just wanted you to know. After I hung up, Marcus looked at me. That was generous. I'm not angry at them. I'm angry at my family. Rosewood was just stupid and got manipulated by my mother's lies. But apparently, Rosewood was very concerned about their liability. Because within an hour, I got a call from Claire. What the hell, Olivia? She was crying. Rosewood just called and said they're canceling my booking. They said there's a legal issue with your contract and they can't host my wedding anymore. Interesting, I said. What did they say exactly? That there was a dispute about the original booking and they need to sort it out with their lawyers before they can proceed. My wedding is in 7 weeks. 7 weeks. Where am I supposed to find a venue now? The irony was so thick I almost laughed. I don't know, Claire. Where do you find a venue with 2 months' notice after someone steals yours? I didn't steal it. Mom said there was a mix-up. Mom lied to Rosewood, impersonated me, and fraudulently canceled my contract so you could have my venue. That's not a mix-up. That's theft and fraud. You're doing this on purpose. You're sabotaging my wedding because you're jealous. I'm not doing anything. Rosewood is protecting themselves from a lawsuit because they realize they participated in breach of contract. That's their choice. Fix this, Olivia. Call your lawyer and fix this. No. No. Her voice went up an octave. What do you mean no? I mean I'm not fixing anything. You wanted Rosewood so badly you were willing to steal it from me. Now deal with the consequences. Mom. Claire screamed away from the phone. She's refusing to help. I could hear my mother's voice in the background, then she was on the line. Olivia Marie Reyes, you fix this right now. No. Your sister's wedding is in 7 weeks. She has 200 guests. She has vendors booked. She has a dress. You're destroying her special day over my stolen wedding venue? Yes. I am. You're being vindictive and cruel. You have other options. I had other options when you canceled my booking 3 months before my wedding. But you didn't care about that, did you? You just cared about giving Claire what she wanted. She's your sister. You're supposed to love and support her. She's my sister who stole from me. You're my mother who committed fraud. And now you're both dealing with the consequences of your choices. If you don't fix this, you're not welcome at this wedding. Or any family gatherings. You'll be choosing revenge over family. I already wasn't going to Claire's wedding. And I've already chosen to distance myself from this family. You made that choice for me when you decided I didn't matter. You're breaking your grandmother's heart. Your father's heart. Everyone thinks you're being horrible. Then everyone should have thought about that before they let Claire steal my venue. I hung up. Blocked their numbers. All of them, Claire, my mother, my father, even my aunt who'd apparently gotten involved to mediate. That evening, Marcus and I finalized our elopement plans. We'd fly to Italy on October 10th. Have a small ceremony on October 14th, our original date. Spend 2 weeks honeymooning in Tuscany and the Amalfi Coast. Come home as a married couple to start our life together. We send invitations to our closest friends, 10 people who'd been genuinely supportive. We didn't post about it on social media. Didn't make a public announcement. Just quietly planned the wedding we actually wanted, far away from family drama. 6 weeks passed. I heard nothing from my family, they'd probably all blocked me right back. I didn't care. I was happier than I'd been in months, planning a wedding that was actually about me and Marcus, not about managing family expectations and drama. Then, 2 weeks before our flight to Italy, I got a call from an unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. Olivia? It was my grandmother. Please don't hang up. Grandma, I can't do this right now. I just need 5 minutes. Please. I sighed. 5 minutes. Your sister's wedding is in 3 days. She found another venue, some banquet hall that had a cancellation. It's not Rosewood, and she's devastated, but at least she's still getting married. Good for her. But something happened last night. Claire called me at 2 a.m., sobbing. She'd had a dream about you. Despite myself, I was curious. A dream? She said she dreamed she was walking down the aisle at Rosewood, the venue she took from you. Everything was perfect. But when she got to the altar, you were standing there in a wedding dress, crying. And you said, this was supposed to be mine. You took it from me. And then everyone at the wedding, all the guests, they turned into you. Hundreds of yous, all crying, all saying, you took this from me. I didn't say anything. She woke up devastated. She said she finally understood what she did. That she didn't just take a venue, she took your dream. Your moment. Your joy. And she replaced it with her own without thinking about what it would cost you. It's a little late for that realization, I said quietly. I know. But Olivia, she's broken. She wants to apologize. She wants to make it right. There's no making this right, Grandma. She stole from me. Mom helped her do it. They made their choice. Your mother is devastated too. She didn't understand. She understood perfectly. She just didn't care because Claire's happiness was more important than mine. Grandma was quiet for a moment. Are you still getting married? On October 14th? Yes. In Italy. Just me and Marcus and a few close friends. Italy, she repeated softly. Your mother doesn't know? No one in the family knows. And I'd like to keep it that way. Olivia, I understand you're hurt. And you have every right to be. But cutting off your entire family forever. I'm not cutting everyone off forever. I'm creating distance from people who hurt me until I'm ready to decide what kind of relationship, if any, I want with them. That's not punishment. That's self-protection. After we hung up, I told Marcus about the conversation. About Claire's dream. She finally feels guilty, he said. That's progress, I guess. Progress would have been feeling guilty before she stole my venue. Or when I confronted her. Or at any point in the past 2 months. Not 2 weeks before her wedding when she's already committed to another venue and realized she can't undo what she did. So what are you going to do? Nothing. We're going to Italy. We're getting married. And when we get back, we'll decide as a team how to handle my family. But right now? They don't get to be part of our joy. We flew to Italy on October 10th as planned. The villa was stunning, stone walls covered in ivy, vineyard rows stretching into the distance, the Tuscan hills golden in the autumn sun. Our ceremony took place at sunset on October 14th, exactly when we'd originally planned. Just us, our officiant, our photographer, and 10 friends who'd flown out to celebrate with us. No drama. No stolen venues. No family betrayal. Just pure, perfect joy. We posted one photo to social media the next day, me in my dress, Marcus in his suit, kissing in the vineyard at sunset. The caption simply said, "Married in Tuscany, 10.14. Best decision we ever made." The messages started within an hour. My grandmother, "It's beautiful, sweetheart. I'm so happy for you." Friends who hadn't made the trip, "What? You eloped? This is gorgeous." And then, from my mother's Facebook account, which I hadn't blocked, "Why didn't you tell us? How could you get married without your family?" From Claire's Instagram, also not blocked, "I can't believe you did this without saying anything. After everything, this is how you act." I didn't respond to either. Just turned off notifications and spent the next 2 weeks honeymooning with my husband, exploring Italy, eating incredible food, taking beautiful photos, being blissfully happy. We returned home to Boston 3 weeks after our elopement. That's when I found the letter. I read it twice, tears streaming down my face. Not because I was ready to forgive her, I wasn't. But because she'd finally seen it. Finally understood. Marcus read it over my shoulder. "What do you want to do?" "I don't know yet. Maybe nothing. Maybe eventually I'll respond. But right now, I just need to sit with it." 2 months after our wedding, I got another message. This time from my mother, sent via email since I'd blocked her number. "Olivia, I've been seeing a therapist. Trying to understand why I did what I did. Why I thought it was okay to cancel your booking, to prioritize Claire over you, to dismiss your feelings. The therapist asked me something that I couldn't answer. Would you have done the same thing if the situations were reversed? If Olivia wanted Claire's venue, would you have helped her steal it?" And I realized, no. I wouldn't have. Because I've always seen Claire as needing more help, more support, more accommodation. And I've always seen you as strong enough to handle whatever came your way. But that wasn't fair. That was me taking advantage of your strength and using it as an excuse to neglect your needs. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I did. For betraying your trust. For prioritizing Claire's wants over your needs. For not protecting you the way a mother should. I don't expect forgiveness. But I'm working on being better. And I wanted you to know that I finally see what I did wrong. Mom. I saved both letters in a folder. Read them occasionally. Let them sit in my heart while I processed what forgiveness might look like. A year after our Italian wedding, Marcus and I hosted a small anniversary party at our new house, a beautiful colonial we'd bought with money we'd saved by not having a huge traditional wedding. We invited our close friends, Marcus's family who'd been supportive throughout everything, and, after long conversations, I sent an invitation to Claire. She showed up with James, her husband, carrying a gift and looking nervous. "I didn't think you'd invite me," she said. "I almost didn't. But Marcus and I decided that if you've genuinely learned from what happened, maybe there's a path forward." I have learned. I'll never stop being sorry, Liv. It wasn't instant forgiveness. It wasn't a magical reconciliation. But it was a beginning. My mother, I kept at arm's length longer. Made her prove through consistent actions over many months that she understood what she'd done and was committed to treating me with the respect I deserved. 2 years after the venue theft, we all had Thanksgiving dinner together. It was awkward. There were moments of tension. But there were also moments of genuine connection. And standing in my kitchen, watching Marcus laugh with Claire's husband, seeing my mother actually listen when I talked about my life, I realized something. Cutting them off hadn't been about punishment. It had been about creating space for them to see what they'd lost when they chose to betray me. Claire's dream, seeing me crying in a wedding dress, surrounded by hundreds of versions of me saying, "You took this from me," that had been her subconscious finally confronting what she'd done. And that confrontation had been the beginning of real change. Would I have preferred they'd never stolen my venue? Obviously. But would I trade my Italian wedding for a traditional one at Rosewood with family who didn't respect me? Never. Because in the end, losing Rosewood had given me something more valuable: clarity about who I was, what I deserved, and what kind of relationships I wanted in my life. My sister had stolen my venue. But I'd built something better from the ashes of that betrayal. And that was worth more than any mansion estate could ever be.